Hey everybody, Marisa here with She Knows Crypto with this week's Crypto Cocktail Hour. Last week we took a break due to the holiday, but we're back and I'm here with the latest news of cryptocurrency for this past week. So we're still in a downslope for basically all of the top cryptocurrencies. Everyone's got Bitcoin blues, Ether blues. It looks like it's slumping and what does that mean? Is it an opportunity? Does it mean it's going to go down? Does it mean it's going to go to zero? What are you thinking? And most people are nervous about it. But when the price goes down, it's a great buying opportunity. So I see a lot of people that have been holding starting to buy more as well. So we'll see how that affects the price and the demand. All right, so let's jump into the news. I've just got a couple quick articles that I wanted to talk about with you guys. The first one is about Mr. Vitalik. He was in South Korea this week at a conference called The Economy, talking about Ethereum, and he was supposed to talk about the future of Ethereum, what we can expect from Ethereum in the next 12 months. But he didn't. So remember that Ethereum is for decentralized apps. So let's just say an app like Facebook, where it's completely decentralized. It's not just Mark Zuckerberg that has it, but it's spread across and it's peer-to-peer. So in that vein, he was talking about people that are developing all these different decentralized apps to put on top of Ethereum, and basically said if you want to put Uber or Lyft on top of Ethereum, they have not solved the scaling issue, meaning how many transactions they can do. So at this point, and we knew this, they had a scaling issue. What I've perceived is that they were fixing it, and he didn't put forward the whole, he put up some ideas, but no timeline of when they were going to fix the scaling issue, because that's the idea of, or at least I thought it was, of Ethereum, is to build these decentralized apps and create networks that don't have an intermediary. So we don't have Uber in the middle taking 30% from drivers. We can just pay them directly in that particular example. So I was under the impression that they were solving that problem while people were building these decentralized apps, and that's not happening. So thanks, Vitalik. That probably didn't help the Ether price this week either. So hopefully more to come on that. The second thing I wanted to talk about was an article, or a bunch of articles came out about U.S., United States of America, tax policy regarding cryptocurrency, in particular Bitcoin, is what this article talks about. So about 4 years ago, the IRS came out with a guidance about cryptocurrency, Bitcoin at that time, saying that it's property. So for tax purposes, that means if you have a property, when you go to sell it, you have to calculate what's called a cost basis, what you paid for it, and depreciate it or appreciate it to figure out that if you had any capital gain on it. So if you made any profit on that particular type of property. So cryptocurrency is property. So you need to pay taxes on that. And essentially, that makes it super cumbersome and awful, because if you were to make a purchase on a website with Bitcoin, you'd have to record every single transaction. They haven't issued any other guidance. So people that are filing their taxes, hopefully you've been a hodler, because if you're holding Bitcoin and you haven't sold it or any other cryptocurrency, then you don't need to worry about capital gains because you're still holding. And that's another good reason to hold on to the cryptocurrency. So that is a very confusing topic, and love to see how everyone's accountant's going to be handling that for this year. If you go to your exchange, a lot of them have FAQs, and they can help you figure out if you're supposed to print your statements or give them to your accountant or what you're supposed to do. At this point, it's a little late. Maybe you might need to file an extension. So U.S. tax policy on cryptocurrency sucks. The last article I wanted to point out, because we've all got the Bitcoin blues and the cryptocurrency's been going down a lot, I did find some good news, and it basically lists some factors of why Bitcoin is going to have a bull run in 2018. So why would that be? And it's the headline's Bitcoin, but I think they're using Bitcoin as the base currency, because as we've seen, Bitcoin goes up and the other cryptocurrencies kind of ride that wave, and then Bitcoin goes down and they're going down too. So why would they expect a bull run? Why would we expect the price of Bitcoin to go up? This article talks about digital scarcity as an innovation. What does that mean? That basically means that you can't print money with most cryptocurrencies. They're limited supply. So that helps keep the value intact. That's an innovation. The other piece is the EFTs that are coming out, exchange traded funds. So those are registered types of securities to exchange currencies. And they are now beginning to create those for cryptocurrency. So great. That's going to mean two big things: more access for people because they can purchase it through an online account through their brokerage, and it also means the demand's going to go up. So what do we know about supply and demand? When the demand goes up and there's limited supply, then the price goes up. So that's positive. It also makes another point about regulation. Everybody's scared about regulation with different types of governments, how they're going to treat it, how they're going to regulate it, particularly the ICOs and the taxes, as we just talked about. But this article looks at it as a good thing. If the government regulates it, then it legitimizes it. And that's what people are really looking for. And I've talked about this a couple times in other videos, that we keep looking to a government or some kind of financial guru or entrepreneur or some type of authority besides ourselves to legitimize this currency. So it's saying if we do have some regulation, people are going to have a little bit more faith that it's legitimate, not fake money stuff. So that's just a few articles for this week. The shitcoin of the week is called Datecoin. Yes, and Datecoin is exactly what you would think. It's a dating app that's creating its own token to raise money. So I've linked to it in the email. So if you're not on the email list and you're curious about the shitcoin, get on my email list at sheinoscrypto.com. But this particular coin, it seems like the team is based in Russia, and they're saying that they already have a dating platform with hundreds of thousands of users. I think they're just based in Russia. It's kind of hard to figure out. But the red flags here are, do we need to have a coin for every single app? Why couldn't we build this dating application on top of Ethereum and just use Ether as a payment method? Do they need to have their own coin? Well, they need to have their own coin because they want to raise $20 million. And it's a little bit difficult to see exactly how they're going to spend or why they need. A lot of these ICOs don't make a case for why they need so much money. It talks about innovation, and it just throws up a bunch of fancy words. Like they're going to create a better type of dating network using artificial intelligence and neural networks. So I'm not a science geek or anything. So when I saw neural networks, I thought something in my head like we were brain matching people or something. It was weird. That's not what it is. It's a way to process data. I Googled it. But they don't talk about what exactly this neural network thing is anywhere in their white paper. It just sounds like a fancy term. The other red flag for me is when it talked about its product, it talked about how terrible it was for men to have to go through so many girls' profiles. They use the word girls. So just talking from the dating perspective of men. Again, this team is Russia-based, so maybe a cultural thing there. But they also use the word girls, which is a little odd for me. The other red flag is they want 20% of the money raised in the ICO to go to the team. That's like $4 million. That's a lot of money. And I usually, for ICOs, it's a red flag when they've got so much money that's automatically allocated to the team without any performance-based type of criteria. So it says that it doesn't release the money. There's a smart contract that won't release the money for a year, but personally, I feel it should be performance-based. The stock market works that way. Equity works that way. So yeah, a bunch of red flags and Datecoin. Like it just sounds like a shitcoin. So thanks for tuning in this week. The cocktail this week is still rum. I'm still in Medellin, and it's my rum of preference. Here you go. And cheers to you. Hopefully another great week in crypto. Ciao.